Your financial problems do not disappear when you get rich, they evolve. At 0, your problem is survival. At 1,000,000, your problem is something you don't have a word for yet. At 10 billion, your problem is a room full of people paid to prevent you from understanding what your problem actually is. The problems never stop. They just get more expensive to have. This is how your financial problems change at every level of wealth, from 0 to 10 billion. Level 1, 0. Your problem is not complicated. You are $4 short, not 400, not 4,000, $4. And that $4 will cost you 35. The overdraft hits before you finish doing the math. You knew when you swiped the card that it was close. You swiped it anyway because the alternative was standing at the register explaining something. You cannot explain quickly enough. The card declined. There is a line behind you. You do the arithmetic again with people watching. The arithmetic has not changed. This is what financial stress actually looks like. Not dramatic, not cinematic. A card declining at a gas station while you calculate whether the transfer from yesterday cleared. It didn't. The problem at 0 is that every financial mistake compounds immediately. You are late once. The late fee is larger than the amount you were short. The overdraft fee costs more than what caused the overdraft. The system designed to hold money charges you for not having enough of it to hold. You are not a customer here. You are a cost they are trying to recover. Remember that, not as resentment, as information. Level 2, $2,300. You are not negative anymore. You are slightly above 0. The difference between those two things is the distance between drowning and treading. Water. You are treading. The problem now is that treading takes everything you have. One unexpected bill moves you back to the edge. One missed shift. One car repair. One medical copay that was supposed to be covered and wasn't. You can see the edge from where you are standing. That visibility is its own kind of exhaustion. The people around you don't see a number. They see a person who is fine. You say you're fine. You are not fine. You are $2,300 away from not fine, and the distance between those two things is smaller than it looks. You start keeping a number in your head that nobody else is keeping, not your salary, not your savings, the specific amount you need to feel safe. The number keeps moving. Every time you get close, something moves it further. You didn't choose to start tracking it. It started tracking itself. Level 3, $25,000. Problem shifts. At 0, your problem was the overdraft. At $25,000, your problem is the $800 in food you bought for a contract that fell through 48 hours before the event. The client found someone cheaper. That sentence is your entire financial education for this year. You break even. On paper, nothing went wrong. In your body, it means 3 nights of bad sleep and a 4 a.m. session of doing the same math until the math stays the same. The problem at $25,000 is not the money. It is learning how to think about losing it without it destroying you. Because it will happen again. Different shape, same math. Level 4, $100,000. The problem now has a name, cash flow. Revenue is real. The restaurant is open. People are coming. There was a line before you opened. And somehow there are months where the numbers at the bottom look wrong. 18,000 in revenue, 3,200 cleared. You do the math a 4th time because it should be different. It isn't. The gap between making money and keeping money is the thing nobody warned you about. The gap has a name: rent, food costs, labor, utilities. And the gap has people inside it who depend on you to manage it correctly. You are now responsible for other people's financial problems alongside your own. That weight is new. It doesn't come with instructions. Your doctor looks at your blood pressure and says something to watch. You schedule a follow-up. You won't make it. The body is sending invoices you are not opening. At $100,000, the pressure is realer than the money. You are not worried about the overdraft anymore. You are worried about the 14 people whose checks clear because yours does. Nobody is keeping score but you. Level 5, $500,000. The problem is not the money anymore. The problem is the people around the money. 3 people from the old group reach out about jobs within 4 days of each other, which means they talked. Which means there was a conversation about your money before there was a conversation with you. You hire 2. One doesn't show up twice in 11 days. You let him go. He tells everyone you fired him for nothing. The second person becomes your most reliable manager. Same entry point, different person underneath it. You are running a test nobody else knows they're in. You didn't design the test. The stakes designed it. This is the level where money reveals something about people you thought you knew. Not their character, their relationship to your resources. Those are different things. Learning to see them differently costs something that doesn't appear on any balance sheet. Level 6, $1 million. The accountant turns the screen. He says congratulations and means it. You say thank you and mean it. Then you sit in his parking lot with the engine running, waiting for a feeling you have been working toward for 5 years. It doesn't arrive. Not because you don't care. Because the milestone and the emotion are on different schedules. The number crossed. You haven't caught up yet. You call your mother. She is loud and specific and already planning what she will tell your aunt. You listen to her excitement and feel the distance between her reaction and your interior. You love her. The gap is real. Both of those are true at the same time. Nobody told you how to hold both. The problem at $1 million is not financial. The problem is that the number everyone else celebrates is the same number that shows you how much further you are from where you thought you'd feel. You thought you'd feel safe. You feel something adjacent to safe, but not safe. The notebook is in the center console. The question on the first page still unanswered. What do I actually want? Level 7, $10 million. The wire clears on a Tuesday morning. You are standing at the kitchen counter. You ordered food out of habit. DoorDash is 42 minutes out. The transfer lands. You eat it standing up when it arrives. It was always good. The problem at $10 million is a language problem. Fund structure, acquisition multiples, carried interest, regulatory positioning. This language lives in rooms your old life cannot enter. And when you leave those rooms, you cannot bring it home. A childhood friend's birthday. Same neighborhood, same house, same music. Someone asks what you do. You say investments. The word lands wrong. A half-degree drop in room temperature. Not hostility. Recalibration. You spend the rest of the evening in the kitchen because the kitchen is still the one room where you know where everything belongs. 3 weeks later, a parking garage downtown after a deal meeting. You think it's cardiac at first. Chest tightening. Air stopping. You sit on the concrete floor in a suit that costs $3,000. You call him. He picks up in 2 rings and stays on without a question for 20 minutes. Your doctor reviews the physical. Blood pressure elevated. Cholesterol elevated. Stress-related appears in his notes 4 times. You are 32 years old. The body has been billing you. You have been ignoring the invoices. The problem at $10 million is that success found you before you found yourself. The gap between those 2 things has a physical address now. It lives in your chest wall. It does not care what the account says. Level 8, $100 million. The acquisition closes. Your team pops champagne. You are laughing in the right places, making the right eye contact. Present everywhere except inside. Your therapist has a phrase for it. High-functioning dissociation. Every external system running correctly while the interior person watches from slightly to the left. The problem at $100 million is not visible from outside. From outside, everything is working. From inside, you are in a different country. The customs don't export. You take a detour on the drive home you didn't plan. Park at a gas station on the boulevard. The lot where the grill used to be is just asphalt now. You tell yourself you'll get out. You sit for 4 minutes. A man walking past recognizes you, reaches for his phone. You pull back into traffic before the window closes. There is no longer a version of this that is private. The problem at $100 million is that the life you built no longer belongs to you to live quietly inside of. It belongs to other people's perception of it. That transfer happened without a signature, without a document you could review and decline. It just happened, the way most of the real costs happen while you were busy with something else. Level 9, $1 billion. Forbes notification. Thursday morning. Your mother calls before you've processed it and reads the paragraph out loud. Third person, past tense. Your name followed by your net worth, followed by a summary of your career as though it's already complete. The specific experience of hearing your own life narrated back from a slight distance. The way you'd feel if someone started reading your obituary while you were still in the room. The problem at $1 billion is that the number has become a separate entity that travels ahead of you into every room. It makes decisions about how people respond before you've said a word, before you've had a chance to be a person rather than a figure. Your friend's daughter needs surgery. The bill is $180,000. You wire it from your phone in 4 minutes. He responds, "Thank you, bro." Neither of you brings it up again. You understand that the wire cost you nothing you'll feel financially, and cost you the last relationship where you were a person first. The problem at $1 billion is not money. The problem is that somewhere between the first overdraft fee and the Forbes notification, you stopped being a person to almost everyone around you and started being a number. The number doesn't get lonely. The number doesn't sit in a parking lot for 4 minutes and then drive home. You do. Level 10, $10 billion. You sit at the head of a 22-person table. You are the most competent person in the room. You are also the most unreachable. Both of those have been true long enough that you've stopped finding them remarkable. The problem at 10 billion is that the problems have become invisible, not solved. Invisible. There are people whose full-time job is to prevent your problems from reaching you. They are good at their jobs. What gets protected is not just your time. What gets protected is your ability to feel the weight of things. And without the weight, you cannot tell what actually matters. Someone finds a box during an office move. Inside it, the original notebook. Cheap marble cover. College ruled. $2.99 at any drugstore. You open it. The handwriting is yours at 23. Confident. A little messy. Pressing hard into the paper. First location by 25. No menu longer than 8 items. You hold it for a long time. The problem you had at 23 was $4. The problem you have now is that you cannot feel the weight of $4 anymore. And the weight was the thing that made the plan real. The weight was what made the early mornings real. The weight was what made the first cleared check feel like something. That weight was the last cost. It didn't arrive with a fee notice. It left quietly, in the space between problems you could feel and problems too large to feel. And the thing nobody tells you about financial problems at every level is this. The ones at the bottom feel impossible, but they keep you present. The ones at the top become invisible and take you somewhere else entirely. And somewhere in the middle, for a window that closes faster than you expect, the problems are exactly the right size. Large enough to matter, small enough to solve, real enough to feel. That window is the whole thing. You won't know it while you're in it. You'll know it after. If this one stayed with you, leave a thought below. Subscribe, there's more where this came from.